on fire, living proof. This is the place, this is the vibe. Comics fans, bring it alive. Comic fans, we're taking flight. Lights go down, we burn so bright. From page to screen, we own the night. Comics fans, Twitch unite. Follow now, comics fans, we ride.
Hey, g'day everyone. What's going on? I hope you're all having a super Sunday today. We are going to be doing the DC Comics June previews live react today. We did Marvel on Friday. And then, yeah, we were going to do, like, the DC ones dropped yesterday, but I had to do Rivals Season 7 launch day. So we're doing it today. Probably going to be a bit of a short one today, probably only a couple of hours, because like we'll just go over the previews and then we'll wrap it up. But yeah, hopefully you can stick around for it. Like I know I talk a lot about Marvel, and you know you can see like Marvel over here, but as long as I've been a Marvel fan, I've also been a DC fan as well. Like I remember reading the original Crisis on Infinite Earths back in the day. Green Lantern, Green Arrow series, which was amazing. I also, one of the earliest comics I ever remember reading is Captain Carrot and the Zoo Crew, and that was DC Comics. So I like while I don't read everything that DC does, I'm still a big Harley Quinn fan. I'm still a big Aquaman fan. You know, I'm a big Booster Gold fan. And I love seeing like Crypto and Streaky the Super Cat and stuff like that. So, you can probably see him up there. We've got Crypto next to Green Lantern, another one of my favorites. And then you got Harley and Ivy. Oh, you got like Adam West Batman in his Batmobile in the middle there. And then you got Harley and Ivy up here as well. So yeah. So we're going to catch up on what DC is doing in June. But first, as always, we are going to do... Hey, Zeros. We're going to do the Marvel anniversaries for today. So, let me have a drink first. It's a bit of a warm one here today. It's 28. Unseasonably warm. All right. Marvel anniversaries for March 22nd. We've got The Mace in 1994. We have No Name, LOA Kaifi, Hero M, Arch E 5912, and Larvin Ski, who didn't get a cover, aka Hulk's Warbound in 2006, Scoundrel in 2023, and Dr. Z down here also in 2023. All right. See if the clip worked. It did. All right. And now, because we are doing DC stuff today, we are going to be playing songs from my Music of DC Comics playlist. Why are you not copying? There. Sorry. It didn't want to copy. Let me post it to you guys on YouTube. Yeah, there we go. 155 stream streak. Go Dragons. Thank you, dude. All right, let's switch to this scene. We got music. Yep. Nice, nice, nice. All right. So, let's get into it. Full June 2026 DC Comics solicitations, Dream Girls and Absolute moves. Now, I will admit, I've not read any of the Absolute comics. It's not something I'm overly interested in. So we've got Supergirl takes the spotlight as DC builds an entire month around Kara Zor-El. No surprise, given the Supergirl movie comes out at the end of June. While big swings hit the Superman line, the Absolute Universe, and beyond. And yeah, thank you to AIPT Comics for compiling this and presenting it. So we're not going to read through all this, but we will start off with, we have Supergirl and Crypto and Lobo and Lobo's daughter and Superboys. So yeah, with some cool variants. Here we go. Summer of Supergirl Special #1. Here we go. Absolute Batman's the best one in that universe. I've heard good things about it. I don't know. Like, I have trouble keeping up with everything that's coming out as it is. You know. So yeah, Summer of Supergirl Special #1. Written by Sophie Campbell, Mark Waid, and Gail Simone. Art by Belen Ortega, Chian Tormey, and Emma Kubert, with a cover by Belen Ortega. And variants by Tula Lote, which I believe is that one. Pablo Villalobos, and we get a Mahmoud Azra movie variant as well. Quiet town of Midvale is shaken to its core when Supergirl finds herself face to face with the galactic bounty hunter Lobo. Can the Maiden of Might stand up to the main man? Plus 2 bonus stories celebrating Supergirl as she resumes her rightful place as the heir to L. Alright. And then, oh, that's a very different Supergirl costume. That's not her normal colors. And then we get classic Supergirl with Crypto hiding he doesn't want a bath. I love it. Lol, that's adorable. Love us some Crypto. Big fan of Crypto. Oh wow, that's a pretty cool Jim Lee cover. We'll take his place, lol. And that's a cool cover as well. So yeah, new issue of Supergirl #14. Written by Sophie Campbell, art and cover by Sophie Campbell. Variant covers Terry Dodson, Bruno Redondo, and Chrissy Zulo Uminga. Supergirl movie variant by Jim Lee. Nothing can stop Black Flame as she continues to amass power in Kandor, the Bottled City. Meanwhile, Lena Luthor searches for Supergirl before it's too late for the Bottled City, Kandor. Will Lena's new invention be the key to turning the tide of the battle? Can Kara learn the secrets of the S-Matrix before they're all found by Black Flame? Alright, I don't know who Black Flame is. I will admit, I am not as familiar with DC's universe as I am Marvel's. Like, you can give me some random, obscure Marvel character, and I'll probably know who that is. I don't know who Black Flame is. Right? But I do know Kandor, you know, I know Lena Luthor. Like, remember, I've been reading DC Comics for a long while, but not everything. And I also have been playing DC Universe Online since it launched. So, you know, I have some familiarity with DC, but yeah, nowhere near as much as I do with Marvel. Anyway. There's Booster. I'm in. I see Booster Gold. I'm in. Booster's one of my favorites. Martian Manhunter, Mary Marvel, Superboy. Oh, this will be the Action Comics. Yeah. Because they're doing a Superboy arc in Action Comics. Yeah, Action Comics issue 1099. Written by Mark Waid, art by Skylar Patridge and Patricio Del Pech, cover by Ryan Sook, variant covers Kevin Wider, Daniel Di Nicuolo. Supergirl movie variant by Lyrics. After defeating Zotar, Superboy and the Justice League turn their attention to another mystery unsolved. The rocket ship that brought Clark to Earth has been activated. Could this be the key to finding Superman? Apparently, Superman has gone missing following the end of DC KO. And yeah, Action Comics has the 4 members of the Justice League, or the 3 members of the Justice League that we saw here. Martian Manhunter, Booster, and Mary Marvel. They're teaming up with Superboy to find, or they're trying to find Superman, and they've found Superboy. Alright, speaking of Superboy, we get Superboy Prime, who has taken over the Superman comic series, I think? Yes. Speaking of which, oh my god, this playlist loves me. We've got the Superman theme playing in the background. If for those that don't have, or they can't hear it on YouTube, my playlist, because I'm playing the songs of DC, it literally is playing the Superman theme. That's brilliant. Superman 39, written by Joshua Williamson, art and cover by Dan Mora. Variant covers by Sanford Green, Ariel Diaz, Chris Burnham, and Aaron Bartling. Supergirl movie variant cover by Artgerm. Superboy Prime loves comics. He's a Wednesday warrior and has read a lot of continuity. Wednesday warrior, lol. But the classic Superman villain has banished Prime into different issues he hasn't read. Get ready for a wild ride across the DC universe as Prime is dragged kicking and streaming across past events, lost reboots, relaunches, and restarts. If he doesn't find his way back to Metropolis, he'll be lost forever. That's really cool because I know Superboy Prime is aware that he's a comic book character. Kind of like you know, Deadpool in Marvel knows he's a comic book character. So that's really, really cool. And also the fact that he's struggling to put together a long box, I can relate. This it's a very relatable cover. I love it. Superman and Superboy. I think that's a made-up comic because I don't remember there ever being. There's a Crisis comic. That's really cool. Well, and so that's a really clever cover. I really like that. Superman's from days past. Freaky. Black costume Superman. Electric blue Superman. Love it. Love it. That's really cool. Really, really cool. Alright, and then we get... I do not know. Who is that? That's Torrin Clark cover, I know that much. Wait, that's Steel. Must be a new character, I'm guessing. Cross between Superman and Batman. Superman Unlimited. Here we go. Superman Unlimited 14. Written by Dan Slott. Art by Lucas Meyer. Cover by Torrin Clark. Variant covers by Raiko, Juan Ferreira, and Stephanie Hans. Supergirl movie variant by Mitch Gerads. Something has gone horribly wrong with the Kryptonite trials at Steelworks, and John Kent's life will never be the same again. Plus a major turning point for the entire country of El Cadero, and every title in the Superman line. Guest starring Steel, Superwoman, and Tomorrow Man. Is that who that is? Tomorrow Man? Or is that John Kent? Alright, moving on. That looks like Superman's dad. That looks like Jor-El. It's Supergirl? It's an alternate Supergirl. Supergirl Survive. Number 1. Here we go. Written by Ethan Parker and Griffin Sheridan. Art and cover by Rod Rice. Variant covers Torrin Clark, Gilliam March, and Homer. Yeah, here we go. Kara Zor-El lives a life of small problems. How are you supposed to hold a floppy little baby like her new cousin Cal? Who should she ask to the spring formal? And when will her father and her uncle Jor-El stop squabbling? But the planet Krypton has big problems, like the militaristic dictator Zod ruthlessly crushing dissent. Oh, was that Zod, not Jor-El? That meant to be Zod. I don't know. Threatening to unleash the planet's most dangerous weapons on the opposition, and when things boil over and Krypton begins to burn, Kara and her infant cousin will find themselves trapped together in a prototype rocket, struggling to survive in a hostile universe that doesn't care if they live or die, and which might prefer the latter. Breakout writers Ethan Parker and Griffin Sheridan join visionary artist Rod Rice to tell the story of teenage Kara and infant Cal, sent on their journey through the stars together, not apart, that is, as long as Kara can keep him alive. So yeah, so it's a different take on the Superman origin story. This time, Kara's gone with him to look after him. Okay, interesting take. And then we get... Is that Dead Man? Yeah, that's Dead Man. Boston Brand. All right, Dead Man being a former circus acrobat who died but lives on as a ghost, and he can possess others and then control their actions and speak through them. Oh, he gets a new comic? Is it a one shot or a new ongoing? A new ongoing? Okay. Written by W. Maxwell Prince, art and cover by Martin Marazzo, variant covers by Frank Cho, Tula Lote, 125 variant cover by Mike Choi, next level variant by Hayden Sherman, foil variant by Martin Marazzo, and a blank sketch cover. They're really pushing a new Dead Man comic. Wow. In the millisecond following his murder, the soul of shifty circus aerialist Boston Brand was commandeered by the goddess Ramakrishna, who deputized the erstwhile performer's ghost with a sacred spectral assignment, the custodian of all souls. Now Brand floats, begrudgingly, through this blue-green purgatory we call Earth, upholding the laws of spiritual math and protecting humanity from evil, even if they can't see or hear him. Open up to this new era of DC's most lively deceased superhero, the Dead Man, in a story about life, death, and everything in between, replete with paranormal activity, possessions, and a profusion of other poignant peculiarities. That's a lot of P's. Alright, so that's cool. So we get a new Dead Man ongoing. Alright. And then we get another Supergirl versus Lobo comic? Or is this Lobo's comic? Because I know they recently launched a new Lobo comic. Lol. The dolphins. That's great. Yep, Lobo, issue 4. Written by Scotty Young. Art and cover by George Corona. Variant covers Lee Bermejo, Mike Del Mundo, and Frank Cho. Supergirl movie variant by Simon Bisley. Jason Momoa cameo cover by Dan Mora. Is that above? No, we haven't seen that. All right, so I haven't shown that one yet. Probably hasn't been approved yet. It's the crossover we planned before you could demand it. Kara Zor-El and Lobo finally meet again, and this date is going to be one for the record. Boo, yeah, we said date. Prove us wrong. We're hearing that the solicit text for the Summer of Supergirl special proves us wrong. Well, who are you going to believe? Right, yeah, that makes sense. But whose story is going to be more fun? The same story told two ways? Rush them on to your local comic store and order them both now. Alright, so that's really cool. So it's a flip. I like that. Same story told from two different perspectives. Always interesting to read. And then we get a new Deathstroke comic with, that's his daughter, Ravager, if I remember correctly. That's a cool cover. I really like that. That's cool. Yep, Deathstroke, The Terminator, number 4, written by Tony Fleeks, art and cover by Carmine Di Giandomenico. Variant covers Dan Panosian, David Arger, and Cully Hamner. Slade's got a job to do, and he can't afford any distractions. Enter Ravager, his deadly daughter. But is she here to save Deathstroke or kill him? It's Take Your Kid to Work Day in this very special Kill Crazy family reunion issue. Alright, I'd be interested in reading this new Deathstroke comic. I've always liked Deathstroke as a character. We get a new Batwoman issue. Because she recently had a new comic kick off. That's nice. I like that. Batwoman number 4, written by Greg Rucka, art and cover by Danny. Or is it Dani? I'm not sure. Variant covers by Stepan Sejic. I'm sorry if I mispronounced the name. David Talaski and Gerald Perel. DC Pride variant cover by Betsy Kohler. Batwoman has declared war against the dark faith and the body count continues to rise as her actions raise alarms among friends and foes alike. The question has come to peddle on in search of answers, but what she uncovers will force Kate into the most desperate fight of her life. You thought last issue's climax was shocking, just wait until you see what Greg Rucka and Dani have in store as their acclaimed Next Level series continues. Alright, and then we get a new issue of Barbara Gordon's new comic. Oracle gets her own series. The former Batgirl turned Oracle. Their own comic. Barbara Gordon Breakout number 2, written by Mariko Tamaki, art by Amanche Nahuelpan. Covered by Carl Kerschel, variant covers Dan Mora, Matteo Scalera, and Jeff Spokes. Barbara Gordon is alone, imprisoned, and outnumbered by the very criminals she put away. Without her team, she's going to have to fight to survive on her own. Someone at Supermax has her in their crosshairs. Barbara's being hunted, but she's about to learn that in prison, there's nowhere to hide. Eisner Award-winning writer Mariko Tamaki and artist Amanse Nahuelpan continue to put Barbara through her paces as DC's most surprising Next Level series continues. Is it? It's an ongoing, not a mini? Interesting. Hang on, I've got a notification on my phone. Wait, what? Hang on. Hang on, sorry. My my middle son sent my youngest saying so dad is probably undiagnosed autistic, right? And I'm like, no, I'm diagnosed as functionally autistic. I was one question off being confirmed like fully autistic. And then my youngest replied to my middle son, where do you think I got it from? Lol. That's my boys. All right. Ooh, new issue of Firestorm. I'm keen for this. I've always liked Firestorm as a character. Yeah. Oh wow, Todd Nork. Todd Nork doing covers for DC. That's a sick cover too. Holy shit. That's a really good cover. God damn. That's really good too. All right. The Fury of Firestorm, number 3, written by Jeff Lemire, art and cover by Raphael Delatorre, variant covers Dustin Nguyen, Todd Nork, and Stephen Green. Lorraine is on the hunt for the only person who can bring Ronnie back from the brink, Martin Stein. But what did Martin do to cause such a rift between him and Ronnie to begin with? Ooh, mystery. Why are they separated? What brink is Ronnie on? The brink of death? Brink of limbo? Like, I don't know. All right, and then we get... That's Zatanna. That's Zatanna. That's sick. All right. Zatanna's the Prime Magus. All right, another character I've always liked. Oh, that's a Chrissy Zullo cover. That's adorable. Love it. Zatanna number 3, written by Jamal Campbell, art and cover by Jamal Campbell. Variant covers Adam Hughes, David Talaski, and Chrissy Zullo Uminga. Downed by a bullet, enchanted with unknown magic, Zatanna is in dire straits. Can she survive by tapping into her newfound power as the Prime Magus of the universe? Meanwhile, Agent Domains of the Department of Occult Affairs is preparing for his own grand finale, one that will show Zatanna exactly where he stands. All right, I'm really hoping to be able to check this comic out. I'm keen that, you know, that Zatanna's got her own new comic series. That Two-Face? Why does he have such long hair? Oh, it's absolute Two-Face. Okay. As soon as that came up, like, yeah, that's absolute Batman. So that's absolute Two-Face. That's an interesting design choice. All right. Absolute Penguin, I'm guessing. That's terrifying. All right, Absolute Batman, number 21, written by Scott Snyder, art and cover Nick Dragotta, variant covers David Nakayama, Nick Dragotta, and Doug Mahnke. Friends become enemies, enemies become friends, final forms are revealed, and Scarecrow's reign of terror threatens to upend everything. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, and a 125 variant cover by Chris Brunner. Absolute Catwoman? Okay. Carrie Andrews, love it. That's a cool cover. David Nakayama cover. Yep, Absolute Catwoman, number 1. Another new Absolute comic. Damn, they just keep expanding this line, don't they? Written by Chi Grayson and Scott Snyder, art and cover by Bengal. Variant covers David Nakayama, Sozamaika, and Care Andrews. Foil variant cover by Sozamaika. Selena Kyle has carved a good life for herself through her ingenuity and skills. She's become the greatest thief the world has ever known. With high-tech gear and weaponry, there's no place too secure for Catwoman. Selena has built this life for herself and thoroughly escaped Gotham. But when someone from her past comes knocking at her door, Selena's life comes crashing down around here. She'll need to get to the bottom of a mystery, taking her all around the globe. Written by Che Grayson and Scott Snyder with art by Bengal. Catwoman bursts onto the scene in the Absolute universe. All right. So yeah, that whole Absolute line shows no sign of slowing down. And then we get, I'm assuming, Absolute... Who? Green Arrow? Yeah, Absolute Green Arrow. All right. I didn't even know they did. Because I don't think we did last month's DC ones. I was going to, but then we never got around to it. Written by Pornsack Pictures Schultz. I probably completely butchered that name. Art and cover Raphael Albuquerque. Variant covers Gerald Perel, Riley Rossmo, and Care Andrews. 125 variant by Matthias Bergara. Is the Green Arrow killer merely a psychopath or something more? Is he a monster Absolute Black Canary should be fighting against or with? So that's Absolute Canary. Still reeling from the disturbing discoveries of last issue's final pages, Dinah investigates one suspect on a list of DC archers, Mia Dearden, and stumbles on a secret from Oliver Queen's past that will change everything. And then we get Absolute Wonder Woman with her big-ass sword. Absolute Wonder Woman number 21, written by Kelly Thompson, art by Dylan Snook, cover by Hayden Sherman, variant covers David Nakayama, Terry Dodson, and Giuseppe Camuncoli. Man, it feels like I'm reading a Marvel solicitation with these three artist names, because they regularly do stuff for Marvel. And now they're all doing stuff for DC as well. Diana's worst nightmares come to light. The Hiron finds a new host. Barbara faces a harsh reality. Kale loses control. And then we get Absolute Superman. That's a wild cover. That's John Jiang art. That's really cool. Yeah, Absolute Superman number 20, written by Jason Aaron, art and cover by Rafa Sandoval, variant covers David Nakayama, Juan Ferreira, John Jiang. Again, three more artist names are regularly associated with Marvel, and they're all doing DC work now too. It's Superman versus King Shazam versus Hawkman versus Redacted in the greatest battle the Absolute Universe has ever seen, but who is their mystery challenger? And we get Absolute Green Lantern. Cool covers. Absolute Green Lantern number 15, written by Al Ewing, art by Sid Kotian, cover by Janoy Lindsay, variant covers Dexter Soy, Marcio Takara, and Werther Del Edera. Joe's journey deep into space has revealed more questions than answers. What intergalactic war has she found herself in the middle of, and can she save Earth before it's too late? And then we get Absolute Flash. That's a trippy cover, I like it. Absolute Flash 16, written by Jeff Lemire, art and cover Nick Robles. Variant covers by Torrin Clark, Chima Hill, and Marguerite Sauvage. As Wally races to find the answers about the mysterious Star Labs founders, the rogues have resurfaced with a new mission: secure Grodd and his father before they take over Colorado. Not Colorado. Alright, and we get regular Batman. Greetings from Gotham City. You don't have to be crazy to live here, but it helps. That's a cool cover. Like that. That's cool too. And the requisite Catwoman cover. Batman number 10. Written by Matt Fraction. Art and cover by Jorge Jimenez. Or is it George Jimenez? I'm going to assume it's Jorge. Variant covers by Dustin Nguyen, George Molina. Oh, sorry. Jorge Molina and Ryan Sook. Foil variant cover by Jorge Jimenez. 125 variant cover by David Arger. If I'm butchering any of these names, I do apologize. I'm a white Australian male. The GCPD's Operation Peregrine struck a deep blow to the heart of the Bat family, but while Savage and his Tukos celebrate their victory, Batman's about to set the record straight. He knows how to take a punch, he knows how to get back up, and he's about to show Vandal Savage, the Minotaur, and anyone else who threatens Gotham City exactly what they're messing with. Superstars Matt Fraction and Jorge Jimenez continue their triumphant run with the best character in comics. That is a big claim. And then we get new issue of Poison Ivy, I'm assuming. Lol. And oh my god, who is that? That's a creepy cover. Oh, we just saw that cover. Yeah. Poison Ivy number 45. Written by G. Willow Wilson, art by Leandro Fernandez, cover by Jessica Fong, variant covers by Nubovich, Kyuyong Eom, and Manny Vincent Carbonilla. DC Pride variant by Don Aguilo. I remember when this series first started out, it was meant to be just a 5-issue mini, I think, or a 6-issue mini series. And it sold so well, DC were like, ongoing. Turned it into an ongoing. And it's like, it's about to hit issue 50. You know, like it's only 5 issues off issue 50, which is crazy good. Like, great to see. Poison Ivy is losing supporters quicker than she can kill them. After a hard day at the office, Mayor Pamela Ivy retreats to her luxurious Gotham City home for some R&R, but not even her home is safe. What terrible menace lurks in wait for her? Read this issue and find out. And then we get Nightwing. Yep, Nightwing, 139. Written by Dan Waters, art by Dennis Cowan, art by Jorge Fornez, variant covers by Ben Harvey and Gabriel Hardman. A new prosecutor is determined to hold Nightwing accountable for his alleged crimes, challenging Bloodhaven's once beloved hero to turn himself into the police. As long buried bodies surface beneath the city's highway, Dick Grayson must confront the cost of his choices and decide whether saving Bloodhaven means finally facing the law. Dun, dun, dun. And then we get Catwoman's regular comic. That's a cool cover. I like that. Good old Frank Cho. Catwoman number 88. About to hit issue 100. Like, it's not far off issue 100. Like, 12 issues off 100. That's crazy. Written by Torin Grunbeck, art by David Gianfelice, or Felice. Cover by Seba Fiumara. Variant covers Frank Cho, Michael Walsh, W. Scott Forbes. Catwoman's return to Gotham City just keeps getting worse and worse thanks to Black Mask and his mysterious new benefactor. Plus, things get a bit hairy for old Slam Bradley. Or Slam. And then we get a new Harley issue. I'm not a fan of this new look for her. Like, I prefer, like, well, I mean, not OG Harley, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I like her, you know, like the red and black look rather than, you know, this pink and purple and red and black. I think it's a bit too much. Harley Quinn 63, written by Elliot Callan, art by Carlos Olivares, cover by Branton Stein, variant covers by David Nakayama, Terry and Rachel Dodson, and Derek Chu. DC Pride variant cover by Stephen Byrne. Oy vey, I've been facing off against my latest foe, the Monochromatic Man, and let me tell you something, this guy ain't messing around. For those who don't know, the gag with this is Harley writes her own comics solicitations for the previews. He's turning my world into some kind of Dutch-angled nightmare, but if that ain't bad enough, I got the whole dang GCPD after me too. Lol. And then we get... Oh, this is the Harley and Ivy miniseries. And that is Clayface. Do not know who Buckethead is. Be funny if that's his name. That's cute. Like that. Alright, Harley and Ivy, Life and Crimes, number 6. Written by Erica Henderson, art and cover by Erica Henderson, variant covers by Lyrics and Amy Reeder. Now, I thought this was only a 6-issue mini, but apparently it's not. Harley and Ivy are getting, because it doesn't, like, normally they say if it's like, you know, 6 of 6 or something in here, but there's no mention of it. So, have they turned this into an ongoing? That'd be cool. Harley and Ivy are getting a whole lot closer, but wait, what's this? Clayface has joined the party and literally nobody invited him. Has anyone pointed out that he's the color of poop and not clay? What's up with that? We don't know, and frankly, it's been too many years for us to change it now. Let's get this show on the road. Bye, bye, bye. We want to make more of this series, and we need your money to do it. That's great. I love it. That's awesome. All right. Oh, and then we got the Batman, Green Arrow, Black Canary crossover series. Oh no, it's Detective Comics. Okay, Detective Comics 1110. Written by Tom Taylor, art and cover by Mikkel Janin, variant covers Kevin Nolan, Dave Johnson, DC Pride variant cover by Angel Solorzano. Black Canary thinks she's granted shelter to a lost, scared little girl, but Batman and Green Arrow know the truth. Dinah has unknowingly taken in a trained assassin. As the Dark Knight and the Emerald Archer race to warn Black Canary, the question isn't who the girl is, but rather, can they get to Dinah before it's too late? And then we get new issue of Batgirl, I'm guessing. That's a cool cover. Yep, Batgirl number 20. Written by Tate Bromwell, art by Stephen Segovia, cover by David Talaski, variant cover by Tirso. A murder in Gotham streets leads Batgirl to a crime scene with no discernible clues, only the words "forget me not." As the investigation unravels, Cassandra Cain discovers disturbing gaps in her own memory. With no leading suspect to fight and no answers on the streets, she must go inward to find the truth. And then, issue of Wonder Woman? Yes. Yes, very much so. That's sick. I like that cover. And that's Nubia, isn't it? I think. Wonder Woman 34, written by Tom King, art and cover by Daniel Sampere. Variant covers David Nakayama, In Hyuk Lee, and Annie Wu. DC Pride variant cover by Fatima Wahid. Diana and Steve's bittersweet reunion is cut short by the matriarch and her plans to destroy Wonder Woman. Can Trinity save her parents and the world? You won't want to miss the riveting conclusion of the Wonder War Act 1. On that note, I need to go pee. Be right back. All right. Let's keep going. Get here. This Justice League? I think this might be Justice League comic. Well, Guy Gardner, Metamorpho and Hawk Girl. Question. Black Lightning. Batman and King Shark. Mary Marvel. Wonder Woman, Hawk Girl, Batman. Yep, Justice League Unlimited, number 20. Written by Mark Waid, art and cover Dan Mora. Variant covers by Bruno Redondo, Nathan Zerdi, Fabrizio Di Tommaso, and Yasmin Flores Montanez. Supergirl movie variant by Bilquis Everly. And a DC Pride variant by Jessica Fong. Lex Luthor and the Dark Knight are the heart of the mystery surrounding Brainiac Queen's return. and a surprising connection between the two men is driving a wedge into the JLU. Meanwhile, the mission to shepherd the JLU's power repository from the Watchtower to Oa goes awry, and you'll never believe that it was all Guy Gardner's fault. Well, I mean, you might believe that. I do. That's great. Oh, that's the Spectre. That's JSA. Okay. That's a sick cover. All right, JSA number 20, written by Jeff Lemire, art by Diego Olortegui, cover by Pete Woods, variant cover Matt Taylor. The Spectre has taken hold of the JSA with one mission, find a new host. But as the JSA fight their former ally, they need to split up and get to the bottom of what has become of the spirit of vengeance. Dun dun dun. And then we get Titans. New Titans, because they recently renamed it. New Titans number 36, written by Tate Bromble, cover by Torrin Clark, art by Marcus Tote, variant covers Ethan Young and John Boy Myers. DC Pride variant cover by Rachel Stott. With their towers all destroyed in the aftermath of DC KO, the Titans set up shop in a new yet familiar location. But who are the Titans in this new era? What is their purpose? And does it have anything to do with the Heart of Apocalypse that Cyborg is hiding in the basement? Uh-oh. So we've got Superboy. I think that's Crush, isn't it? Lobo's daughter. The Signal? Not sure. Not sure. Well, that's Wonder Girl. That's spoiler. Yeah, alright. And then we get... That's a very cool Superman cover. Adventures of Superman Book of L number 9. Written by Philip Kennedy Johnson. Art and cover by Scott Godlewski. Variant covers Lucio Perillo and Kyuyong Eom. After a face-off with Pyros, Superman has won the support of the Fourth World, but it's not going to be enough. As Krill Ux grows more powerful, he also grows less human, and Osel's time is running out. Superman needs one more ally who's been hidden in the Phantom Zone, the matriarch of the House of L, Kara Zor-El. Supergirl. And then we get Flash versus Grodd. Lol. That's a cool cover. Like that one too. And Captain Cody stole his glasses. The Flash, number 34, written by Ryan North. Art and cover Gavin Guidry. Variant covers David Nakayama and Joe Quinones. Mr. Terrific is helping Wally understand the new superpower he's been experiencing and has come up with a way to test it. But when that results in the Flash seeing a vision of a dark future, okay, maybe not that dark, but at least concerning, Central City overrun by a guerrilla army, he knows precisely where he needs to go to stop it. Can one man, even if he's objectively pretty fast, survive in the middle of enemy territory when all those enemies are really strong, super intelligent guerrillas? You'll find out in this issue. Plus, it all leads to a second experiment with even greater consequences. Awesome. Flash versus Grodd, always a classic. And then we get, it's got to be a new issue of Emperor Aquaman, because I recently retitled the Aquaman series to Emperor Aquaman. And we've got Hal Jordan guest starring by the looks. That's a cool cover. That's Mera. Emperor Aquaman, number 18, written by Jeremy Adams, art and cover John Timms, variant cover Nathan Zerdy and Stephanie Hans, DC Pride variant by Brooker Jones. Aquaman finds himself trapped in a mysterious prison only to find out he's not the only one there. Hal Jordan joins him in a jailbreak among the stars. A union between the Lost Green Lantern and the Emperor to the stars points the way towards a major sea change for the DC universe. Interesting. And then we get new issue of Green Lantern with Kyle Rayner taking over the book. Don't know who this is. Not sure who this is. Right, Green Lantern 36, written by Jeremy Adams, art by Ig Guara, cover by Eddie Barrows, variant covers David Nakayama and Yasmin Putri. What's it like running into your ex-girlfriend who's also a superhero and happens to be the daughter of Earth's Green Lantern after a few years? Is that Jade? Because that's the Golden Age Green Lantern's daughter. There was Jade and Obsidian was his daughter and son. Well, why don't you come along and find out as Jade returns to help? If I just keep reading, it would have explained it. God damn it. And Kyle investigates a series of murders involving several fast food joints all around LA. All right, that's a new look for Jade. I don't remember Jade ever looking like that. Yo, Laz! 50 stream streak, my dude! Thank you, man. Appreciate you. That's awesome. All right, and we get, I'm assuming this is Green Lantern Corps. Because, yeah, we've got a Red Lantern, we've got Larfleeze, the Orange Lantern, we've got Sinestro as a Yellow Lantern. We've got... that Guy? Is that meant to be Guy? That's John Stewart. That's Joe Mullane. That's not Atrocitus. So I don't know who that is. But that's definitely, like, Larfleeze is the only Orange Lantern. You know, because the Orange Lantern is all about greed. And he's too greedy to share. So that's why there's only one Orange Lantern. Alright. That's a sick cover. God damn. That's really cool. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the green, all the different Lantern Corps, like the whole Lantern mythology. Like, I absolutely love it. Green Lantern Corps number 17, written by Morgan Hampton, art and cover by Fernando Passarin and Auclair Albert. Variant covers by Jorge Fornes and Rian Gonzalez. Trying to keep the new Manhunters from stealing Ophidian, Effigy goes supernova on the sun, turning it into a black hole as the Lanterns race past the event horizon to save Ophidian and reverse the effects before Oa and New Thanagar plunge into frigid ice ages. New Thanagar, hey? New home for the Hawk people. And then, that's Dreamer. Don't know who this is. And then that's a pretty cool cover. Oh, yeah, that's the cover that I used as the title card for this stream. So, Justice League Dream Girls, a DC Pride event #1, written by Jadzia Axelrod, Nicole Maines, and Greg Rucka. Art by Nicholas Scott, J-Bone, Brantenstein, and Claire Rowe. Cover by Brantenstein. Variant cover by Claire Rowe. Connecting variant cover by Phil Jimenez. 1 of 4. There we go. Fresh off the events of Justice League Intergalactic Special #1, Dreamer and Galaxy suddenly awake on the island of Themyscira, living their best lives as princess and champion of the Amazons. But wait, weren't they just having a blowout friendship fight on the Watchtower right in front of half the League? And who's this mysterious man that just washed up on their shores, insisting Dreamer leave paradise with him to save the world? And why does this heroic origin story and its increasingly strange and shifting landscape feel both familiar and wrong all at once? Is that Steve Trevor that's, like, Dreamer's taken Wonder Woman's place? It's almost like they're lost in a dream, also featuring a Batwoman backup story by Greg Rucka and Claire Rowe. Alright. So that's Galaxy. Okay. Alright, that's cool. And, oh, so wait, are we getting all 4? Oh, they must be doing all 4 issues throughout the month. Justice League Dreamgirls, a DC Pride event #2. Written by Jadzia Axelrod, Nicole Maines, Morgan Hampton, and Stephen Underwood. Art by Steven Sadowski, Vincent Cecil, Mikhail Janin, Brantenstein, Aletha Martinez, and others. Covered by Brantenstein. Various covers, Mateus Mahini. Connecting variant cover by Phil Jimenez. The key was watch a villain who can infect the dreams of even the most powerful heroes through complex chemical cocktails. Now, in Dreamer, he sees a way to control the dreamscape for real, if he can craft a fantasy compelling enough to make her surrender to him. If only Dreamer's best friend Galaxy didn't keep interfering. How did she even get into the dream world anyway? No matter. When you push the right buttons, even the strongest friendship can be shattered. Also featuring a Green Lantern Corps backup story by Morgan Hampton, Stephen Underwood, and Aletha Martinez. And then we get issue 3. Wait, isn't that the same cover as issue 2? Yeah, okay, so they've just got the wrong cover by the looks. Justice League Dreamgirls and DC Pride event number 3, written by Jadzia Axelrod, Nicole Maines, G. Willow Wilson, art by Brantenstein, Rosie Campe, Maria Lovett, and more. Cover by Brantenstein, variant cover Oscar Vega, connecting cover Phil Jimenez. Galaxy's in for a rude awakening, literally, when her connection to the dreamscape suddenly cut off and she's thrust back into reality on the Watchtower. She finds herself at the center of an explosive debate over the status of her Justice League membership, during which a secret from her last mission is brought to light. Meanwhile, the key reshapes the dreamscape to give Dreamer the one thing she's always wanted, always truly wanted. Also featuring a Poison Ivy backup story by G. Willow Wilson and Maria Lovett. And then, lol, issue 4. Justice League Dreamgirls, a DC Pride event number 4, written by Jadzia Axelrod and Nicole Maines, art by Brantenstein, Rosie Campe, and more, cover by Brantenstein, variant covers by Robin Zombie Higginbottom, connecting variant cover by Phil Jimenez. Will an isolated and untethered dreamer surrender herself at long last to an unholy union that would give the key the power to exact his revenge on the Justice League once and for all? Not if Galaxy's got anything to say about it. Speak now or forever hold your peace in this frightful finale issue. And then we get Warlord. Oh, is this Batman Superman? World's Finest. Crypto! Lol. Yeah, it's Warlord. Nice. Batman, Superman, World's Finest 52, written by Mark Waid, art by Adrian Gutierrez, cover by Dan Mora, variant covers by David Parator and Adrian Gutierrez, Supergirl movie variant by Dan Mora. Batman and Travis Morgan, the Warlord, must work together to combat the greatest threat to this underground kingdom, the Tyranno-Sorcerer. But where is Superman in search of a new way to augment his powers that will shock you? Tyranno-Sorcerer. I want to read this issue just to see the Tyranno-Sorcerer. I got a mental image of a T-Rex with a wizard hat. And he's holding a little wand in his little hand. And then we get Bizarro, Jimmy Olsen. Lol. Yeah, that's Bizarro. Yep. Oh, it's Bizarro, Year None number 2, written by Kevin Smith and Eric Carrasco, art and cover by Nick Patara, variant covers Martin Marazzo and Ibrahim Mustafa. Trapped on a backward planet of backward doppelgangers doing backward versions of everything they would normally do, the extremely frontward Jimmy Olsen and Perry White find themselves wondering, will we ever get home again? At least their host, a backward version of Superman, seems to be accommodating of their stay. But if everything is backward on this planet, then what's the opposite of accommodating? Uh-oh. Then we get Scarecrow. Oh, Gotham Academy. Gotham Academy, first year number 5, written by Brendan Fletcher, Carl Kirshen, and Becky Cloonan. Art by Marco Ferrari, cover Carl Kerschel, variant cover Annie Wu, 5 of 6. Gotham Academy's first day of school comes with new schedules, new secrets, and a creeping sense that nothing is quite what it seems. For Olive Silverlock, the search for a missing mother takes a turn into forgotten memories, closed doors, and conversations she swears she's already had. But how do you retrace your steps when you don't remember walking? And then, Legion of Doom. Wait, that's Eggman. We've got Black Manta, Lex, Captain Cold, Sinestro, and Eggman? Oh! Oh, wait, this is a Sonic crossover. Lol. Okay, that's cute. See, I didn't do. I'm gonna have to go back and look at May's ones because I didn't know that there was a DC Sonic crossover. DC X Sonic Metal Legion #2, written by Ian Fling, art by Adam Bryce Thomas, cover by Pablo M. Collar, variant covers by Rico and Daniel Di Nicolo. The worlds of the Justice League and Sonic the Hedgehog have become linked. Pulling the strings is the sinister Legion of Doom with the help of their newest member, Dr. Eggman. Pit of Vipers is full of treachery and deceit, but they're even more dangerous when they set their sights on the Justice League and the Sonic heroes. Will the villains succeed in taking out the heroes in one fell swoop, or will both worlds fall to the Legion of Doom? Dun dun dun. So yeah, I was gonna do the like I didn't get around to doing the May ones last month, so why I didn't know that there was a crossover. That's gross. Bleeding Hearts #5, written by Dennis Camp, art and cover Stephen Morian, variant by Chloe Brailsford. Can an unwitting act still count as betrayal? Poke and Mush's friendship is at its breaking point, but can you fault someone for indulging their natural instincts? With Poke's secret becoming increasingly hard to keep, it may end up being a question he must answer in front of his entire horde in their most sacred of spaces, a shopping mall. I'm guessing that's a zombie comic. Is that Alfred? No. It's the Peril of the Brutal Dark and Ezra Kane mystery #5. Hey Rick, how you doing? Written by Chris Condon, art and cover by Jacob Phillips, variant cover Aaron Campbell. The Brutal Dark is taken to the sky, its plan has been put into action, and all of New York is at danger. With Ezra Kane literally hanging by a thread, he'll have to rely on his old skills as a flying ace to have any chance of bringing its machinations ground. Yeah, good mate, just going over DC's June offerings. Bit like Riddler. I get Riddler vibes from this guy. End of Life #5, written by Kyle Starks, art by Steve Pugh, covered by Gerald Perel, variant covered by Matt Taylor. Richard Smiley has kidnapped Trent and taken him back to the abandoned Wrong Dog theme park, but have the people of Pluto softened Eddie enough to care? It's a confrontation between two incredibly annoying guys, with a fallout that will leave Eddie at his lowest, which is really saying something. Thank you for the 55 stream streak, my dude. Appreciate you. That is that? That's Superman's dad. Superman Father of Tomorrow #2. Written by Kenny Porter, art and covered by Danny Earls, variant covers by Gabriel Hardman and Chris Burnham. Yes, here we go. Some years have passed since Jor-El made his first appearance as Superman. Since then, he's revolutionized humanity's abilities and technology. Medicine has leapt forward, agriculture is more sustainable for the environment, and the world feels safe. But people have also taken Jor-El's technology and turned it into tools to be used against others. Can Jor-El find a way to appeal to people's greater good, or has he just armed society with even more powerful weapons? The Sammy Hagar streak, 55, lol. And then we get they're the lost issues of Swamp Thing. That's right, Swamp Thing 1989 #3, aka Swamp Thing #90. Written by Rick Veitch, art by Tom Mandrake, cover by Rick Veitch. After 3 decades of controversy and cancellation, Rick Veitch's finale to the Swamp Thing's time travel saga barrels towards its mind-bending conclusion. Swamp Thing's journey back through time has finally led all the way to the Big Bang and beyond. There, in the presence of the source of the multiverse, Swamp Thing must make an impossible choice. Join the source of life itself or find his way home to Abby. While 13 billion years in the future, John Constantine works his occult network while hell itself is ablaze, with villains of yesteryears forging evil into a new and terrifying form. The child of Swamp Thing, Abby Arcane, and John Constantine, heir to the role of Earth's Elemental, is about to be born, and everything hangs in the balance. And then we get they're doing facsimile editions of Avengers JLA. That's a very low res version of the cover, though. Yeah, Avengers JLA #2 facsimile edition. Not going to read through that because we already got it. Lobo facsimile edition. Yep, Lobo #1 facsimile edition. And then we get Supergirl facsimile edition, is it, as well? Supergirl and the Legion of Superheroes #23. There we go. Facsimile edition. Oh, we got another issue of Work in Progress. Yeah, this Work in Progress series, they do like, you know, the sketch pages and stuff before they're all inked and colored and stuff like that. So you get to see, you know, behind the scenes of, you know, how it looked before the finished product. It's pretty cool. And we get facsimile edition of Detective Comics 359. We get DCKO gets collected into a hardcover. And there's also All Fight as well. Justice League Unlimited gets a trade. Yep, 12 to 16. Then we get TKO Superman Battle Royale. Oh, excuse me. Bruce Wayne not super, lol. Bat Catastrophe. Bruce Wayne not super, the Bat Catastrophe, written by Stuart Gibbs with art and cover by Berat Pekmezki or Petmechi. Trying to catch a villain in the act of villainy while trying to learn the ropes of the superhero thing has 13-year-old Bruce Wayne exhausted and struggling at school. Although he's far more frustrated by the fact that Selina Kyle has a crush on Batman, but not him. When Jack Napier and his hulking sidekick Bane are recruited by Hugo Strange for a high-stakes heist at Gotham City Bank, Bruce will get a second chance to prove he has what it takes to defend the streets of Gotham. But Bruce gets more than he bargained for when he catches Selina helping Jack. Coming from a school full of heroes and villains, he should have known she would be more than she seems, and now Bruce will have to find a way to stop them all before they can accomplish their plan. That's cool. I like that. Teen Titans Go! On strike! Oh, I used to love this show. I used to watch this with my boys all the time. They loved it. I loved it. Fucking great cartoon. Teen Titans Go! On strike. Written by Sholly Fish, Matthew Cody, Ivan Cohen and others. Art by Dario Brizuela, Megan Huang, Eric Owen and others. Cover by Eric Owen. He does a very good... Because those that like, if you think this looks familiar, Dan Hipp, you know, the artist that does a lot of Marvel Snap variants, he used to be the art director for Teen Titans Go! So that's very much based on his... that's why it's done in his style. You deserve that chocolate fountain. Cyborg and Beast Boy would never steer you wrong unless you went to the future with them, or to Azarath, or to visit the Doom Patrol for Christmas, or on game night, or on Valentine's Day. Maybe you shouldn't trust them. Good thing some of their teammates have a good head on their shoulders. Lol. Oh, and then Absolute Martian Manhunter gets a new collection. Batman Static Beyond gets collected. Aquaman Volume 2. Batgirl gets a Volume 3. JSA Year 1 gets Volume 3. Superman Unlimited gets Volume 2. Batman Superman World's Finest gets Volume 9. Detective Comics gets a Volume 3. Catwoman gets a Volume 3. Oh, Injustice comic? Oh, that's collecting. Oh, compact edition. Okay. Right, they're smaller size. Right. Speaking of Green Lantern, Green Arrow. Hey, remember I was talking about this at the top of the stream, how one of the earliest comics I remember reading was Green Lantern, Green Arrow? And this cover is burned in my brain. Like, this was an iconic cover from back in the day. Hard Traveling Heroes, yep. Collects Green Lantern... Well, it's Green Lantern, Green Arrow, 62 to 82. That's what it was called at the time. Oh, I'd be friggin' tempted to get this. I really would. I'd love to reread those. Because that was some very adult stuff featured in those comics back in the day. Like, Green Arrow's sidekick, Speedy, was revealed to be a friggin' drug addict, you know, and it dealt with, like, stuff like that. Like, it was full on. You know, and here's friggin' 10-year-old me reading it, you know. Yeah, I would be very, very tempted to pick this up. When's it released? 28th of July. Okay. Oh. What was their name? That's Human Bomb, Phantom Lady, Uncle Sam, Doll Man, and the Ray. Oh no, that's Doll Man. Wait, who's that then? Human Bomb, Phantom Lady, Doll Man, Uncle Sam, the Ray, and I don't remember who that is. What was their name? What was their name? What was their name? What was their name? Yeah, it was Earth X. Yeah, can't remember the name of that team. But I remember the characters. Like I remember like reading them back in the day too. I can't remember who this guy is. I thought he was Doll Man, but then I saw him down there. That's definitely Doll Man. OG Suicide Squad? Yeah. OG Suicide Squad. Okay, these DC Finest books look very cool. Yeah, that's sick. I wouldn't mind getting this either. There's a Captain Boomerang, Deadshot, Bronze Tiger, Rick Flag. Can't remember them. Oh, excuse me. Is that Nightshade? Oh, Deadman Complete Collection, because they've got a new Deadman comic starting. Oh, a collection of Firestorm, the Nuclear Man. Green Lantern, Kyle Rayner. Nice. Oh, that's a cool cover. Deathstroke. Trade. Batman Arkham Clayface. Nice. Absolute Batman Incorporated. Oh, it's the absolute format. It's Batman Incorporated, but in the absolute trade format. Right. Oh, Aquaman. This was a good book. Jeff Johns' Aquaman series was great. I loved it. Batman by Tom King. Nice. Batwoman Omnibus. Cool. Birds of Prey by Gail Simone. Nice. I wish she would have kept Harley on the team. Harley was a member of this incarnation of the Birds of Prey initially, but then she left after the first story arc. And then we get that Gotham City Year 1. Nice. Commandy, the last boy on Earth. I remember this comic as well when I was a kid. Jack Kirby classic. Yep. I remember Commandy. Yeah, 40 issues. I wouldn't mind getting this too. 4th of August it comes out. 125 US. Oh my god. It's like 900 pages though. That would be so cool to get though. Wow. Oh. Sorry. And then we get a new Milestone Compendium. That's cool. New Power Girl Omnibus. Superman Omnibus. Long Halloween, Last Halloween collection. Lol. Super Friends. That's awesome. Original New Titans Omnibus. That's sick. God, this... Hey, Synthetic. You want Swamp Thing? What, this one? That'd be cool to get. It looks awesome. The packaging looks awesome. Wonder Woman Year 1, Volume 2. Golden Age of Wonder Woman Omnibus, Volume 3. Oh, there we go. Alright, so... that's the end of the June solicitations. Now, I do want to go back because we didn't get around to doing May's. I was originally gonna do it, but we didn't get around to it. So, let me bring it up. Give me a quick sec. Here we go. All right. So yeah, so we'll go through these. So Absolute Batman. Issue 20, written by Scott Snyder, art and cover Nick Dragotta, variant covers Chris Anker. I won't go over all the variants in there. As the dust settles in the city of Gotham after the loss of Redacted enter the scene ready to hunt, and more than one secret will be revealed in this seminal issue. That's a lot of Redacteds. Wait, oh, did they push this back a month? Because we just read, yeah, so they must have pushed this back a month. This was originally set to come out in May, but then they resolicited it here in June. If I can find it. Yeah. Yeah, so here, so it's resolicited for June, 10th of June. It was originally set for, oh no, 10th of June. Why did they put it in the May previews then? That's weird. So we went over this already. That is an awesome Green Arrow cover. Oh, this is that Absolute Green Arrow. Yeah. Yeah, Absolute Green Arrow, #1. Written by, and I don't think I can say that name out loud, art and cover, Raphael Albuquerque, with a bunch of variants, and a logo cover. A serial killer is slaughtering corrupt billionaires. The only clue to his identity is a mysterious green arrow sticking out of his victims' corpses. Executive Protection Specialist Dinah Lance, aka Absolute Black Canary, is one of the people tasked to uncover this murderer's identity. As she investigates her suspects, all familiar DC archers uniquely linked to a recently murdered Oliver Queen. I know what you did last summer for billionaires. Absolute Green Arrow reimagines the Emerald Archer's mythos into a dangerous urban horror murder mystery. Okay. And then we get Absolute Superman, issue 19, written by Jason Aaron, art and cover by Rafa Sandoval, with a few variants. King Shazam has risen with a power unlike anything Superman's faced before. What connection does he have to Brainiac and the mysterious Father Box? Plus another classic character has made their absolute debut, though it remains to be seen if they're a friend or foe of the Man of Steel. Then we get Absolute Wonder Woman with that stupidly oversized sword. Absolute Wonder Woman 20, written by Kelly Thompson, art and cover by Hayden Sherman, variant covers by Terry Dodson, Carl Kerschel, and Clayton Crane. Against the wall, Diana and Zatanna must join forces or perish. When Diana makes the ultimate sacrifice to end the conflict and face her true foe head-on, things become more complicated than she feared. Wonder Woman is not an island unto herself, and other forces have vested interest in her mission. Don't miss the finale of the epic season of The Witch. Yeah, it's just Absolute Zatanna. Then we get Absolute Green Lantern. Wait, this is resolicited as well because we looked at this. Absolute Green Lantern 14. Did they resolicit it as well? Yeah. Oh no, that's 15, but it's the same covers. Same covers. Well, one of the same covers. Okay, interesting. Absolute Green Lantern 14, written by Al Ewing, art by Sid Kotian, covered by Janoya Lindsay, and a bunch of variants. Hermar Ray and Joe Mullane make their way out into the icy cold depths of space, ready to take the fight directly to Mogo and the Black Stars, but what they find out there might be more than they are ready for. Alright, so that cover makes more sense now because that's Tomari. Doesn't make sense being here, so maybe this was in error? I don't know. Absolute Flash. Flash, not Flush. Absolute Flash 15, written by Jeff Lemire, art and covered by Nick Robles with a bunch of variants. On the hunt for answers while he's drawn to the derelict facility of the now defunct Super Science Lab Star Labs, but something is dwelling within the halls of this place, and the Flash is not ready for this new threat. Then we get Absolute Martian Manhunter with some very trippy covers. Is this the last issue? Because it wasn't in June. Yeah, I think so. Absolute Martian Manhunter number 12, written by Dennis Camp, art and covered by Javier Rodriguez, and a bunch of variants. All comes together here, green and white, life and death, husbands and wives, fathers and sons, free will and fate, crime and punishment, beginnings and endings. Why do people do the things they do? Read this issue to find out. Yeah, so I think that's the last issue. It's like a 12-issue maxi series. Oh yeah, and this is like, we saw this in the June ones. I'm going over these because we didn't do, like, I didn't get a chance to do these last month. So that's why we're going over them now. I should have done these first, but yeah. Alright, so yeah, so Barbara Gordon, Breakout number 1, written by Mariko Tamaki, art by Amanse Nahuelpan, covered by Carl Kerschel with a bunch of variants. Framed, outlawed, hunted. The extra-legal activities of Gotham's vigilantes have never been more dangerous. After Barbara Gordon is arrested for aiding the Bat family, she's shipped off to Supermax, GCPD Commissioner Vandal Savage's pet project prison for all who oppose him. She will find herself alone, surrounded by dangerous criminals and equally dangerous guards, in a place where nothing is what it seems. The true danger is just beginning. Eisner Award-winning writer Mariko Tamaki and fan-favourite artist Amanse Nahuelpan reunite to deliver a twisty, unexpected Bat book for DC Next Level. And then, yeah, we get the Zatanna comic. Playing a banjo. Lol. That's a cool cover. I like this. Zatanna number 2, written by Jamal Campbell. Art and cover by Jamal Campbell with a bunch of variants. With a murderous plague spirit on the loose, the Mistress of Magic makes a stop in Memphis, Tennessee, hoping to find aid in a ghostly and melodious ally. However, the enigmatic agent domains of the Department of Occult Affairs lurks in the shadows, biding his time, going over his own script, ready for his due. And then we get new issue of Batwoman. Issue 3, written by Greg Rucka, art and cover by Darnie. I'm assuming it's Darnie. Variant covers by Stepan Sejic in a bunch of variants. In the aftermath of Batwoman's brutal showdown with the Monks of the Stone, Jacob Kane fears his daughter may have crossed the point of no return. If there's any chance of pulling Kate back from the brink, he'll need the help of Renee Montoya, aka The Question. But neither of them may like the answer they find. The sparks will be flying in more ways than one when Greg Rucka and Darnie's next level tale continues. And then we get the Lobo comic. That's a cool cover. Lol. I bite fanboys. Lol. That is a trippy cover. Lobo number 3, written by Scotty Young, art and cover by Jorge Corona with a bunch of variants. Show business and Lobo had concussive creative differences, so he and Dog are back to bounty hunting. But the trade's been professionalized since the Universe's Premier Entertainment Corporation took over, and Lobo has to get relicensed, which means a psyche Val with an alien empath. Bad news for them, good news for Zarnian history buffs, who will get a new peek at the twilight of the civilization, aka Lobo's childhood, and the first appearance of a heretofore unknown Green Lantern. Okay. And then, is this new issue of Deathstroke? Yeah. That's trippy. Deathstroke the Terminator, issue 3, written by Tony Fleeks, art and cover by Carmine Di Giandomenico, with a bunch of variants. It's said there's no honor among thieves, but there's a code among killers. Slade Wilson wrote the code, and now he's in Deadshot and Deathblow's crosshairs for breaking its first rule. Interesting. I thought that was Deadshot. On that first cover we saw, yeah. Deadshot, and that must be Deathblow. But that's definitely Floyd Lawton. Suicide Squad. And then, oh, that's a sick cover. I like that. New issue of Fury of Firestorm. Trading card cover. I like it. Fury of Firestorm number 2, written by Jeff Lemire, art and cover by Raphael De La Torre, with a bunch of variants. Who is Ronnie Raymond, and how did he become the powerful nuclear man Firestorm? Is there an answer in his past that sheds a light on how he went rogue? Because he's split from the Doc. And then we get a new issue of Batman, which is funny because we've got Danny Elfman's Batman the Animated Series theme playing. And that's Spoiler and Robin and The Signal. Or is this? Yeah, Batman number 9. Written by Matt Fraction, art by Ryan Sook, cover by Jorge Jimenez, with a bunch of variants. God damn, it's an issue 9. And it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different covers for an issue 9. Wild. After making a sinister deal with Mayor Isley, Commissioner Vandal Savage initiates Operation Peregrine, sending his brutal Tuco squads across Gotham on a singular mission, bring in the Batman. Batman and his team must destroy and abandon their hideouts, safeguard their data, and escape the long arm of the law, but not everyone will make it safely through the night. Then we get new issue of Poison Ivy. Well, issue 44, written by G. Willow Wilson, art by Jamie Infante, cover by Jessica Fong, with a bunch of variants. Gotham begins to turn on its new mayor as some less than wholesome things are brought to light. So what's a superpowered supervillain mayor to do in a time like this? Well, let's just say it's not completely legal. Meanwhile, something is alive in Robinson Park. Something very, very big. It's the park. The park is alive. New issue of Batgirl. That's a cool cover. So's that. That's really cool too. Batgirl number 19, written by Tate Bromble, art by Takeshi Miyazawa, cover by David Talaski, variant cover by Serge Akuna. There's only one variant, so I'll read that one. Trapped in the spirit world, Batgirl and her allies race to save Wu Lin and stop the curse of the blood as she's faced with making the ultimate sacrifice. As ancient powers collide, Cassandra Cain must decide what kind of family she's willing to fight for. And then we get, is this Detective Comics? Yeah, I think this is the Detective. Yep, Detective Comics number 1109. Written by Tom Taylor, art and cover by Mikkel Janin, with a couple of variants. Gerald Perel, Riley Rossmo. Green Arrow has been thrown from a skyscraper and is tumbling towards the pavement at terminal velocity. His would-be killer, an enigmatic teenage girl with connections to a secretive Gotham family, and a connection to Batman, Green Arrow, and Black Canary's past. Will Gotham's new dynamic trio be able to track down this strange homicidal girl known only as Arabella? Will they be able to unravel the mystery of her past connection to their own? And more urgently, how on earth will Green Arrow survive a 70-story fall? He has a grappling hook arrow. The answers lie in this can't miss issue. And then we get a new issue of Nightwing. That is a sick cover. That is a really cool cover. God damn. Nightwing 138, written by Dan Waters, art by Dennis Cowan, cover by Jorge Fornes, variant covers by Dani and Philip Tan. There have long been legends of something bestial lurking in the forest just outside of Bloodhaven. Some say it's demonic, others think it's extraterrestrial. When a trail of violent incidents seems to connect this creature to the city's new superhighway, Nightwing resolves to get to the bottom of it. What he uncovers will bring one of his Titans teammates to Bloodhaven, looking for some long overdue closure. And then we get a new issue of Harley. Taken over the studio. Send help. Lol. It's Bud and Lou. I love it. Her pet hyenas, Bud and Lou. Lol. Harley Quinn number 62, written by Elliot Kalin, art by Carlos Olivares, covered by Brandon Stein, with a bunch of variants. We've got a real special show for you folks this month. You're going to love it. I, the one and only true Harley Quinn, will be appearing for one night only on Throat Cutter Hill's premier public access TV station. Sure, the folks working there don't know it quite yet, but when I get there, I'm sure they'll see things my way and air my show. This is a real wacky one. We got so much formal experimentation in here that you'll be going great Tom King's Ghost by the end of the issue. Lol. And then, what is this? Oh, Catwoman. Oh, that's Black Mask. Okay, that makes sense. Catwoman 87, written by Torin Grunbeck, art by David Gianfelice, art by Seba Fiamara with a bunch of variants. Black Mask has a special game for Catwoman to play, and the prize is Holly Robinson's life. Selena better hurry up though, because time's running out on the clock. And then we get Wonder Woman with Wonder Girl on the cover. Oh, that's Wonder Woman's daughter. That's Trinity, right? Not Wonder Girl, it's Trinity. Wonder Woman 33, written by Tom King, art and cover by Daniel Sampere with a bunch of variants. After infiltrating the Matriarch's prison, Wonder Woman and Trinity rally their allies for the battle to come. I really should just learn to read on the solicits rather than speculate before I read them. Will their army be enough to stop the unstoppable? Can the Matriarch maintain her hold on the world while sitting atop her throne of lies? Plus the reunion you've been waiting for. Diana has finally found her lost love, Steve Trevor. Here we go. And then we get... That's Lex Luthor and Batman. Is this World's Finest? That's Swamp Thing. Flash and Green Lantern. And that's Fire and Ice. Oh, it's Justice League. Justice League Unlimited, 19. Written by Mark Waid, art and covered by Dan Mora. Bunch of variant covers. God damn, it's an issue 19 and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different variants. As the Leaguers struggle on Earth to fulfill the impossible missions mandated by the Heart of Apocalypse and control the villains given amnesty, the spacefaring JLU members must come face to face with Brainiac Queen, back from the pages of Absolute Power and deadlier than ever. Ruh-roh. And then we get Spectre. Oh, it's JSA. JSA 19, written by Jeff Lemire, art and cover by Diego Olortegui, variant cover Matt Taylor. Justice Society of America is putting the pieces back together after its tumultuous run-in with the Injustice Society, but before the dust can settle, the Spectre returns with only one driving mission: vengeance! Exclamation mark. And then we get the DC Sonic crossover. I see Tails. Tails is my favorite Sonic character. Alright, this is looking sick. Lol. That's cool. That's very cool. Of course, Knuckles is Superman. So, Sonic is Flash, Shadow is Batman, Knuckles is Superman, Tails is Cyborg, and I can't remember their names. Or his name. And Eggman is Lex Luthor. Yeah, I can't remember their names. I haven't played a Sonic game in a long time. Someone familiar with... Yeah, someone familiar with Sonic characters, fill me in. Who are these ones up the top here? Like, I know Eggman, but who are these? Like, I know Tails, Knuckles, Shadow, Sonic. Hang on, I'm gonna have to look these up. Okay, so that's Amy Rose over here. This is Amy Rose. Oh, that's Rouge. That's Rouge the Bat. I remember Rouge. Oh, that's Cream. Cream the Rabbit. No. That's Cream the Rabbit. And that's Cheese. Yeah, that's Cream and Cheese. Yeah, that's Cream and Cheese. That's Blaze the Cat. But then who's the big dude? Oh, that's Big. That's Big the Cat. Duh. There we go. All right. Yeah, that's sick. Yeah, DC X Sonic the Hedgehog, the Metal Legion #1, written by Ian Flynn, art by Adam Bryce Thomas, cover by Pablo M. Collar, and a bunch of variants. The worlds of DC Comics Justice League and Sega's Sonic the Hedgehog collide once more in another thrilling crossover filled with action, adventure, laughs, and perils. Mysterious mechanical rings have appeared on both worlds, linking them together and leading to all things wonderful, worrisome, and weird. The heroes are happily reunited, but little do they suspect there's a sinister origin to their reunions. And then we get, yeah, Superboy Prime. Yeah. He's taken over the comic. Superman 38, written by Joshua Williamson, art and cover by Dan Mora, with a bunch of variants. Superboy Prime uncovers a secret coven of witches in Metropolis led by the hellish Witchfire. Prime wants to prove he can be the better Superman so badly he takes on one of his vulnerabilities, magic. But the problem is now Prime finds himself drawn to Witchfire's deadly charms in more ways than one, all while one of Superman's deadliest enemies spy on the wannabe Man of Steel and waits for his moment to strike. And then we get Superboy comic. Crypto! Action Comics 1098, written by Mark Waid, art by Skylar Patridge and Patricio Del Pech. Covered by Ryan Sook, with a couple of variants by Hanning and Sweeney Boo. The Weapons Master has homed in on the most scientifically advanced tech on Earth, which happens to be hiding on Kent Farm. It's Clark's rocket ship. Now the Justice League and Superboy must defend his legacy and save the town of Smallville from Zotar and his cache of malevolent munitions. And then we get a new issue of Superboy, and I see Streaky the Super Cat. As well as Crypto, of course. Supergirl 13, written by Sophie Campbell, art covered by Sophie Campbell, with a bunch of variants. Battle between the newly empowered Rebel Black Flame and Team Thunder rages on as Supergirl, still at the mercy of her recent cybernetic enhancements, is forced to come up with another tactic to save Kandor from ruin. And Superboy and Lena Luthor's arrival turn the tide of the approaching war. And then we get... oh, is Superman Unlimited? Yeah. Superman Unlimited number 13, written by Dan Slott, art by Lucas Meyer, covered by Teron Clark, with a bunch of variants. One word should fill you with fear, Metropolis. 2 syllables should have you running for your lives. Beware the wrath of Beppo, the super monkey. The power of a Kryptonian with the mind of an angry primal beast. Can Tomorrow Man and Superboy even hope to stop the mad mammal of might? Super monkey. The reign of the Superboys continues as John Kent's life takes a surprising turn that superfans won't want to miss. It was Beppo. I didn't see Beppo on the cover. Oh yeah, well, that's it. That's him there. I thought that was Grodd for some reason. But yeah, there's like, he didn't have his cape, so... nice. Alright. And then we get, yeah, Batman, Superman, World's Finest. And they are in with Warlord, yes. What's the name of the realm that they're in? Skartaris, yeah. Batman, Superman, World's Finest 51. Written by Mark Waid, art by Adrian Gutierrez, covered by Dan Mora, with variants by Mattia De Eulis and Adrian Gutierrez. Uh-oh, that sounds like a T-Rex. The world's finest team enters the lost world of Skartaris, home of Travis Morgan, the Warlord. In a magical realm where Superman's powers are at risk, Batman and Robin trade their masks and capes for swords and sorcery. I remember reading the Warlord comic, like, back in the day as well. And then we get Titans, Cyborg, Starfire, Nightwing. Uh-oh. New Titans 35. Written by Tate Bromble. Art by Sami Basri. Cover by Torrin Clark. Variant covers Ethan Young, Stephen Segovia. Everything is not as it seems. As reality falls apart at the seams, the Titans come face to face with an Omega Energy upgraded cyborg, one without Victor Stone's humanity. Their only hope is a mysterious new hero, and the solution may only be found deep within the rampaging Omega cyborg himself. Will the Titans survive the trappings of their nostalgic nightmare, or will they survive to see the new Titans rise defiantly into the future? And then, that is Black Manta. For sure, that's a sick cover. So is this Emperor Aquaman comic? I think so. That's Mera. That's Aquaman with a pet Starro. Yeah, Emperor Aquaman number 17, written by Jeremy Adams, art and cover John Timms, variant covers Ariel Diaz and Gleb Melnikov. Emperor Aquaman's reign begins here. His new mission to establish lighthouses across the galaxy in order to stave off trouble before it reaches Earth. Joining him on his new mission are familiar and unfamiliar faces, including King Shark, who has pledged his loyalty to Arthur and joined the ranks of the King's Guard, the Shiver. But as they step into the Blue Gate and travel to worlds beyond, these beasts may have bitten off more than they can chew with their sizable jaws. Lol. And then we get Green Lantern and Jade. Yep, nice. All right. That. Green Lantern, but he's a Green Lantern wrestler? Green Lantern 35, written by Jeremy Adams, art by Iguara, cover by Zermanico, and a bunch of variant covers. The glitz, the glamour, the giant alien that wants Odyssey dead. Wait, what? In order to ensure that a burgeoning career keeps, burgeoning, Odyssey the Time Bandit is tasked with doing the meeting circuit. Accompanied by Kyle, she has to drive around to various coffees, luncheons, and dinners to hobnob with the decision makers. But where are the celebrities? There is paparazzi and someone else, someone who wants to stop Odyssey star from rising into the sky of celebrity. And then we get that. Oh, that's a cool Laughleys cover. Love it. Green Lantern Corps 16, written by Morgan Hampton, art by Juan Jose Rip, cover by Fernando Passaran, Auclair Albert, and variants by Jorge Fornes and Rian Gonzalez. As John Stewart recovers, Kat Matui and Soranik Natu survey the Corrigal that survived the fractured spectrum and the rebirth of Parallax. Jessica Cruz tries to decide how to intervene in the conflict between two members of the former United Planets, a conflict Guy Gardner and his team were using to conceal their search for the Butcher, the emotional entity of rage. Speaking of Guy and Manhunters, that's a sick Guy cover. I like that a lot. Oh, it's David Arger. No wonder. Lol. Tales of the Green Lantern Corps, Guy Gardner, number 1. Written by Jerry Duggan, art by Matteo Lolli, cover by Edwin Gallman, covers by a bunch of people. David Arger, Ariel Olivetti, Ethan Young. In this corner, we have intergalactic heavyweight Guy Gardner fighting in the Censored Division, and his challenges are Manhunter, Androids, Space Apes, the Guardians, and fellow Lantern John Stewart. The Deadpool team of Matteo Lolli and Jerry Duggan presents Light Club, a tale of the best and worst Lantern in the Corps. Lol. And then we get new issue of The Flash. Flash fact. Did you know, according to Einstein's theory of relativity, time flows differently depending on the environment's gravitational pull. Strong gravity equals slower clocks. Physicists at the National Institute of Standards and Technology, NIST, have calculated that, on average, clocks on Mars tick 477 microseconds, millionth of a second, faster than Earth clocks. This seemingly tiny difference actually has tremendous impact on our interplanetary communication technologies, which require timing accuracy within a tenth of a microsecond. Over time, we would see clocks on Earth and Mars slowly drift from one another, rendering communication difficult. This discovery will allow for not only better synchronized communication between the two planets once we manage to travel there, but even smoother communication throughout the solar system as a whole. Lol. Flash number 33, written by Ryan North, art and cover by Gavin Guidry, bunch of variant covers. Someone has hidden a nuke in Central City and the Flash has minutes to find it before it goes off. Just one problem, while he's already checked everywhere. In fact, he's actually been checking everywhere over and over and over for days due to the putting yourself in danger trend that's making his life a huge pain. But if the Flash can't find the bomb alone, at least he's got the help of his brilliant wife Linda, along with the aid of Captain Cold. That can't be right, can it? The clock is ticking, plus Wally's mysterious flashes of insight escalate. And then we get another issue of... Wait, who is that? I don't know. Oh, well, it's Superman. Oh, Events of Superman Book of L number 8. Written by Philip Kennedy Johnson, art and cover by Scott Goldevsky, variant covers Alicia Prillo, Ira Colin. Superman will always help someone in need, but since he was thrown into the future, his first priority has been to rescue Otho and Osel Ra. The Valkyries of Phalosia have offered him a chance to reunite with his daughter, but will they give him time to save his son? What sacrifices are necessary to prevent Krill Arcs from rewriting reality? And Ronan Kent's reliance on Brainiac finally comes to light. And then we get, is this Gotham University? Yeah, Gotham Academy. Gotham Academy, first year number 4, written by Brendan Fletcher, Carl Kerschel, Becky Cloonan, art by Marco Ferrari, covered by Carl Kerschel, with a variant by Marco Ferrari. Olive's had his share of obstacles since she arrived at Gotham Academy, from the difficulty of young love to dealing with bullies to fighting villains alongside Batman. It has been a lot. But sadly, her troubles have just begun as a bat-shaped, or more accurately, a man-bat-shaped shadow falls over Gotham Academy. Lol. And then we get, oh yeah, this is when they reimagined Superman's father as Superman. Superman, Father of Tomorrow, written by Kenny Porter, art and cover by Danny Earls, variant covers by a bunch. In a corner of far-flung space, a world explodes. A lone rocket escapes the destruction and races through space, ultimately landing on a small farm in small-town Kansas. A kindly couple steps with trepidation towards the alien craft. As the door opens, out steps a man named Jor-El, the sole survivor of his planet Krypton. As Jor-El fits into his new home, he realizes he can help the world, not just with his newfound powers, but with his intellect as well. Witness how a man of steel and science saves the world. And then we get the continuation of the 80s Swamp Thing book with issue 89. Although they're calling it Swamp Thing 1989 number 2, written by Rick Veitch, art by Tom Mandrake, cover by Rick Veitch, and a foil variant by Rick Veitch. As Swamp Thing's flying backwards through time, his true destination is revealed while John Constantine works a world of connections to locate the lost elemental. Abby prepares to give birth to the child of 3 worlds. Witness the epic odyssey that couldn't see print until now. Over 3 decades in the making. Welcome to the grand finale of Swamp Thing. And then we get, is this Catwoman? Yeah, it's Catwoman. And a Harley variant on a Catwoman. Oh, it's Sirens. Sirens, Love Hurts number 4. Written by Tini Howard, art and cover by Babs Tarr, variant cover Derek Chu, connecting variant Tula Lote. As winter melts to spring and the marriage of power couple Black Canary and Green Arrow looms large in Gotham City, Harley and Ivy struggle to pick up the shattered pieces of their friendship turned situationship, and a shocking revelation turns Catwoman's relationship with Batman upside down. Even the bride and groom-to-be face their own rocky walk down the aisle on their wedding day. One that Killer Horoscope is determined to make a bloody affair. And then we get a facsimile edition of Saga of Swamp Thing 21. We get the last issue of Batman Static Beyond number 6, written by Evan Narcisse, art by Miguel Mendonca, cover by Nicholas Draper Ivy, with variants by Carmine Di Giamenico and Fico Ossio. The Beyond Universe's blockbuster team-up crashes into its crescendo here after plunging into the world of darkness, or plunging the world into darkness. Shutdown threatens to unleash even more chaos as revenge for what's happened to him. As Batman and Static race to stop his plans, an intergalactic armada looks to invade Earth and plunder its resources while the planet is vulnerable and crippled. How can Static, Batman, and their teammates in the Justice League stop these threats without making everything worse? And then we get last issue of Night House by the Sea, number 10. Written by James Tynion IV, with art and cover by Alvaro Martinez Bueno and a variant by Fabio Moon. It's been years since Walter and Oliver said a single word to each other, and it's taken the literal end of the world to put them face to face again. Now the fate of the entire human race depends on these two being able to put aside the hurt they caused each other. But are either of them capable of it, and can they do so fast enough to stop the body count from rising? And then, is this that, Bleeding Hearts number 4. Zombie comic. Written by Dennis Camp, art and cover by Stephen Morian, variant cover by Junie Barr. How do you bond with a human when you have little humanity yourself? Poke is figuring it out firsthand, but his best friend Mush is starting to notice. Poke is disappearing all the time, and when he's around, he's barely interested in preparing for the joyous holiday of Outbreak. Doesn't he want to celebrate the devouring of live one flesh? Poke is a tough decision to make, but the collision of his two worlds might end up making it for him. Then we get the Ezra Kane comic, Peril of the Brutal Dark, Ezra Kane Mystery number 4, written by Chris Condon, art and cover by Jacob Phillips, variant cover by Duncan Fagredo. The Brooklyn Bridge is as good a place as any for Ezra to take a clandestine meeting with Carl Meyer, the man who could help him bust this case wide open. But mechanical monsters lie in wait, and Ezra's life is put right on the line. He knows too much now, and the only way to stay alive is to act fast. What he finds at the Clockworkers Union might mean he's already late. Lol. End of Life number 4. Written by Kyle Starks, art by Steve Pugh, cover by Gerald Perel, variant cover by Brandt and Stein. The Menagerie's Menace match. No, not Eddie. Come on, it's Eddie's father, George. He's got to jump on the Menagerie's best tracker, Drathar, who has found his way to Pluto. It's a match of wits and weapons, but George has always said he won't protect Eddie, so what's his move here, and what made George into the hard ass he is today? Well, you're getting a flashback. Hey, Fox. New comics? Yeah, we're just going over. We just did DC's July previews, but I realized that we didn't do DC's May previews, so we're quickly going over the May previews just to finish up. Mad Magazine 50. It's the 600th issue of Mad Magazine, written by the usual gang of idiots, covered by an idiot with the pen tool. Lol. What me worry? This special issue celebrates 7.4 decades of Mad Magazine, featuring brand new Mad favourites like Mad Look At by Sergio Aragones, Spy vs. Spy. I remember Spy vs. Spy. And a brand new fold-in by Johnny Sampson, plus new Mad content created just for this special issue. Includes a whole slew of classic Mad movie and TV parodies from the usual gang of idiots. This is the kickoff to the upcoming Mad 75th anniversary in 2027. So go grab Mad 600. It'll surely cure what ails you with a shot of humour in the jugular vein. Special wraparound cover by Yugoi artist Sergio Aragones, going back to legacy numbering, starting from issue 600. 50% new content, including new writers artists, includes special 75th anniversary Spy vs. Spy poster by artist Peter Cooper. And reprints the best of Chip Zdarsky's comic book DC Goes Mad. That's cool. So Mad Magazine, 600. God damn. We get a facsimile of JLA 75. We get a facsimile of Detective Comics 578. We get a facsimile of Batman Dark Knight Returns number 4. A facsimile of Batman 244. Action Comics 583. Teen Titans Together. Oh, it's a new graphic novel. Teen Titans Together, written by Kami Garcia, art and cover by Gabriel Piccolo. Corey Anders wants to trust newcomers Dick, Ravengar, Max, and Damien, but can she? After all, accusing Hive of abduction, experimentation, and torture is the same as accusing family friend Lynch Fairweather. And Vic Stone, whom she definitely trusts, has a summer job designing next-level prosthetics in Edge Labs, which funds certain projects at Hive. Plus, Corey's sister Kira is singing the praises of working with Hive, offering an inside look at the potential a partnership could bring. They've got a plan for taking down Raven's demon father, Trigon. They've got a plan for training the next generation of superheroes. They've got plans for everything. Lines become blurred as the teens struggle to agree on the best plan of action. Hive might be their greatest ally, but at what cost? And can the Titans pull together a plan before they fall apart? Join #1 New York Times bestselling author Kami Garcia and artist Gabriel Piccolo, the creative duo behind the New York Times bestselling Teen Titans graphic novel series, for the ultimate showdown. And then we get, okay, so Nightwing gets a new trade, Ivy gets a new trade, Batman and Robin gets another trade, we get a compact version of the Batgirl trade, New Gods gets collected, Jack Kirby's New Gods, nice. Batman Blind Justice gets collected. Shadow of the Batgirl gets a new edition. Oh, this is cool. Black Casebook Deluxe Edition. Love that cover. That cover's awesome. We also get Absolute Ronin. Batman and the Monster Men gets collected. The new collection. Batman Ninja Turtles Deluxe Edition. Nice. That was a cool comic. I read that. Batman Bronze Age Omnibus, Elseworlds Justice League Omnibus. We get Jiro Complete Collection, new Hellblazer Omnibus, Classic Silver Age Justice League Omnibus. We get Nightwing Omnibus, Planetary Compendium, Robin Year One gets a new edition, Absolute Infinite Crisis gets a new edition. Action Comics Omnibus, Flash Omnibus, Wonder Woman Omnibus, and that's it. So, All right. So that was everything for DC's May and June previews. That's probably going to do us for today. I did say it was going to be a quick one today. I did just want to go over all of those. But I do appreciate folks being here. Folks on YouTube, thank you so much. And folks on Twitch, thank you as well. If you wouldn't mind sticking around on Twitch, we're going to go raid someone. Question is, who? Let's go raid Laz. Yeah. All right, gang. So yeah, thank you again for hanging out with me today. I do appreciate you all being here. This was fun. I like doing these. And I hope to do more of these in future. Tomorrow, it's Monday, so we're back to Marvel stuff. We'll be doing some Snap and some Rivals. So hopefully we catch you for that. And until then, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Cheers all. See yous.